Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we're getting the opportunity to ride the all-new BMW R18. For a BMW event out here in Thermal, California, we've been doing all sorts of fun things with cars, with minis, and most importantly, for right now at least, for this video, motorcycles. They've got the whole lineup of their new R18 fleet, so we've got the classics here. We actually don't have a sport, but it's essentially the same as the base. And then we've got this bagger right here, the B, and then the big boy Transcontinental. So we're going to get some time on all of them. We're going to start out raw first impressions here with this big ol', it says 1800 cc's, technically 1802 cc boxer twin, and go for an experience. You know, fun fact, I've never ridden a Harley. So
you're going to feel it now.
What's cool is I'm probably the first reviewer to ride one of these and not be able to make any parallels to a Harley.
The Harley goes like this.
Sure.
And the BMW goes like this.
That's what I've heard. Obviously a ton of chrome, a ton of fun accents. This thing feels premium already, right on sitting, pulling the clutch in, grabbing everything. It's a weird mixture. It almost feels like you're like a 1930s Rolls Royce. That's all of its flashiness, but all of its premium feel as well.
So you know how this.
Check out that exhaust tip. This is a unique style bike. It really is. It's I'm really looking forward to spending on it. One of the things I have heard, very low seating position. I'm 5'10", plenty of leg room there, and oh boy, it certainly has some heft. It's heft and it's substance too. It feels like a substantial bike. That's kind of the term that I've been coming to so far. Go, let's start it up. It does rock back and forth. I heard about that, but I didn't know what it would be like to experience it. Wow, the whole bike yanks. I'm not leaning it. Look, I'm going to hold it really still, and when I rev it, it pulls to the side. That's neat. Big brake lever, big clutch lever. So we're neutral right now. Looks like we got ABS. Ooh, interesting foot position, that's for sure. I'm not getting a positive into first. Not my first BMW, but my first cruiser. Oh boy. This is cool. Please excuse the race car. Ooh. Ah, I just got blinded by the chrome underneath. Alright. So we're dealing with a good amount of torque. I think we're up over 100 pound-feet of torque. I started watching too many motorcycle videos the other night. Ah, it's so weird how it yanks you back and forth. Berlin built right there in the gauge buster. Okay, all right. Oh no, my mirror! My mirror has broken. Hopefully that doesn't shake itself loose here after a minute. There we go. There's no tachometer. That's kind of weird. Oh my gosh, my butt is vibrating something fierce. That's interesting. I like that. Maybe I'm not supposed to rev it up too much. Maybe I'm supposed to. I mean, the vibrations definitely calm down at lower RPMs. I guess I'm just without attack and with no with no big, loud sport bike type motor like I'm used to, I feel like I shouldn't be shifting yet. But here the thing is, rattling around. Gosh, this is weird. It's just so different. My arms are really outstretched. They're wide. I'm getting a ton of wind on me, but I am enjoying this. It's almost as if you can hear the cylinders flapping back and forth. Alright, this is so weird. When I pull the clutch in and rev match the downshift, the whole bike rocks side to side. It's so weird. I can already see how people would get a little frustrated by this foot placement. It's not back behind you the way kind of more of a sport bike is. Like on my V-Strom, for example, my legs are a little bit more underneath me, and they're further down, so my knees are quite high on this. But then my legs are almost a little bit, it's almost as if I'm sitting straddling something in an office chair. Brakes, you actually have to lean into quite a bit, but I suppose we are pulling down a pretty heavy machine. Oh, I like that. That's a lot of fun. Oh my goodness. Wow. Now I get why people say the V-Strom is a little bit dull. That's cool. And you feel more important on a bike like this. The way your arms are really out wide and your legs are out wide. It's almost kind of like that that stance where you got your hand on your leg and your man splitting, and you're just like, let me tell you here, son. I definitely get that. That power is addicting. I don't know if I love how it vibrates my butt, but this is why motorcycles are cool, because of the character in the motor. You get a new BMW car, you're not getting character like this. You're getting just a dull boy inline 4. You know, even if it's an inline 6, it's so smooth and powerful. It's just like, But this, even just breathing on the throttle with the clutch in, the whole bike's trying to rattle itself free. It's like a toddler squirming to say, let me go, when you don't want when you're holding on to the kid that's squirming to break free. That's how this thing feels. Ah, there we go. Good call, buddy. Looks like we got an odometer, tripometer, average miles per hour, voltage, date, average mile per gallon, 37, really not too bad. Clock, that's nice. Oh, there's tack. Cool. I guess I should have checked for that. I wonder what the rev cut is on this. $5,700. That's awesome. Gosh, the power and the noise and the vibration. It's so much more fun to drive something with a lot of sensation at a slower speed than drive something butter smooth at a high speed. In most situations, I should say. Maybe not like on a racetrack. Oh, I forgot there's different drive modes. So there's rock and roll. What does roll do? Okay, so roll, I think, is supposed to just be a little bit more conservative. I guess I probably started out in the most dramatic, most intense drive mode. I will throw it in rain real quick just to see what it's like. Oh gosh, yeah, it really nerfs things. Oh, it just feels so improper then. Because you roll on, nothing happens. It doesn't feel very connected. Let's switch up to rock mode. There we go. Feels more proper. Alright, let's try this on some twisting. Get all the way back up to our tack here. Doesn't like to live up in those high rev ranges, that's for sure. Every time I downshift, I just love feeling the bike sort of rattle itself there, rock itself back and forth. It's so butter smooth when you're down in the lower RPM stuff, but then when you rev it out, even out in this Palm Springs area heat here, 80, 85 degrees, sun beaming down on me, jacket on, a few shirts. I really don't mind the wind blowing in at me. It'd certainly be cold if it were 50. Maybe if I were doing a lot of highway riding, I'd want to have a windshield, but I really don't mind it too much, as is. I love having my arms all the way stretched out. I don't know why, it's just it's a more comfortable position for me, and it feels so commanding. Alright, so we are going to switch over to the Transcontinental, a big boy. Going from the smallest to the largest.
We'll stay off this. This is quicksand over here.
Okay. Ooh, immediately, much more comfortable seat. This one weighs an extra couple hundred pounds, so that'll be interesting. We have this huge TFT display. Motorrad, make life a ride. Ooh, weird shifter placement on this one. Ugh. This is by and far the heaviest bike I've ever ridden. Alright, I do not want the radio on. Why is that happening? Okay. This is volume right here. That's cool. Boy, it'd take a while playing around with this to get used to it. But oh man, this is really cool. Oh, it's more comfortable to ride by far. Oh, but it doesn't, I should say it's not as intuitive. It feels less like an extension of your body and more like a machine that you're piloting, which makes sense. Oh my gosh, it feels like I am navigating the Titanic through these roads. I like having a real tack. That's something that was definitely lacking in the old one, and a digital speedometer. That's nice too. I'm already getting warmer though on this big old windshield. It is not adjustable. And I'm getting a degree of wind buffeting that I did not get with the other one. I don't know if you all can hear that, but you can see this buffeting happening on the windshield. I think that power reserve gauge is a little bit silly. I get it, and it's supposed to be, again, real luxurious, again, like a Rolls-Royce sort of deal. You still have that downshift character, though. The bike still vibrates itself back and forth. I'm just enjoying the more comfortable seat. I didn't realize how uncomfortable I was on that other seat until sitting on this. Let's turn up the speakers a little bit here. Forgot that might get copyrighted. I didn't think about that. Might have to cut that section out. The whole thing's a little less sporty and responsive, understandably, since we're carrying around so much more weight. I've been told the bagger is much more fun from a single person perspective than this one. It's that extra 100 pounds this puts on is definitely a tax, especially how high up it's sitting with all that passenger space. Very easy to no clutch upshift, kind of lean off and just plop it right in. And that was 56, but still should be fairly simple. My foot does seem to be getting some warmth on it from that cylinder head. I noticed there's some air fins down there that look like you can fold them in and out, and I bet you if it were chilly I could fold those out to block even more air from my body. Probably appreciate that, but today I definitely want extra flow. That's something Alyssa complains about sometimes, extra flow, but I'm okay with it today. Yeah, I do not care for that buffeting. I'm really getting it on my helmet. It's making it, honestly, more uncomfortable up at about 75 miles per hour here than I was on the other bike. So that's not good. I can see now why high horsepower is so much more important, and high torque, really, for these bigger cruiser type bikes. I mean, you're talking about a bike that weighs almost double what my bike does without any of its bags on, and you need significantly more power to get it going, and get it going with haste, with earnest. Try out this adaptive cruise control now. See if we can adapt to our buddies here. Cruise is now on, set for 61 miles per hour. Let's turn it up. I guess we just accelerate and then hit set again. There we go. Oh, we can actually adjust it right on the fly there. And then following distance, max following distance. And look at that, it's slowing us down. So right up there, we're set at 72, and now we're doing 64, 63, slowing down. And I could really just sit like this if I wanted to, no hands. And it should slow us all the way down to about 25 miles per hour before I have to intervene. So let's see how quickly it happens. I'm covering the brakes. It's slowing me down pretty aggressively, but I'm gonna get on the brake and the clutch now. Interesting. That's cool. It really is. I can see the function. Ooh, so much power down low. We've been going faster for so long, I forgot what it's like to have this thing at a higher rev. The cruise control is definitely neat. I can certainly see the appeal in that, sitting in not even necessarily highway situations, but even like 55 mile an hour roads. That's typically when I find myself using adaptive cruise control, because then you have no choice. You have to just sit behind people unless you want to pass, and it's a lot of times just better to set your adaptive cruise and forget about it. Now what bikes are going to start needing is climate control, so you can just blast air conditioning at yourself or whatever. Man, it's kind of crazy that just any random person can go out and get their motorcycle endorsement in the weekend, go out and buy one of these, because this thing is unwieldy. I mean, it's really heavy. You got to have some confidence and some body control and experience to balance this thing around. I mean, I do not consider myself to be a veteran rider by any means, and I am taking it very cautiously with this thing, especially around these city type situations. I mean, yeah, you could say it carries its weight well, but it's still there. You still have to know what you're doing, be able to handle it. You really do. There's no other way around it. as weird as it is, these bikes work best as city bikes. It's best to be rumbling away from stoplights and feeling this thing shake you around. I mean, watch. It still does it. Still shakes back and forth. I don't know if this is the engine I'd want between my legs, if you will, for long distance highway cruising. When you're doing that, when you're just munching miles, you kind of want the engine to be unnoticeable, and that's kind of what you get with something like a Goldwing. But this, yeah, when you're not really on it, I'm just kind of quarter throttle here, 2000 RPM, you barely feel it. But as soon as you lean on it to come out of a corner or get up to a different speed limit or something, you're feeling that rumble and that vibration. I think that's something I'd want more from a city or type bike, a shorter distance sort of bike. And don't get me wrong, just because this is the Transcontinental doesn't mean they're expecting it to take away from the K1600 type buyer. I mean, that's the type of person, you get that straight six. I'm sure that thing is just sewing machine smooth when you're cruising at these sort of speeds. But this is more for the type of person who wants to ride around town, maybe do a day trip or something with somebody on the back, but they don't really care about doing big miles. It's more about making a statement for the miles that you do ride. Let's come on and take another look at this thing and then get this wrapped up. Gosh, it's so heavy. It really is. All right, let's come to a stop. Big old kickstand to hold it up. Yeah. If you tip this thing over, it would be a trip and a half lifting it back up. Let's take a quick seat up in this passenger compartment. Pull down. They're not even foot pegs. They're foot rests, if you will. Climb up in there. Okay, yeah, it seems comfortable. Seems a little flimsy, actually. I'm a bit surprised by that, but really comfortable. And then I know under here you've got a little storage compartment with a wireless device charger, which I think is pretty clever. A little fan cooler in there. Your place to put gasoline in. Big upgraded Marshall sound system, which, as we demonstrated, although you probably won't be able to hear because of copyrighted music, sounds quite decent. Big lockable storage up in here. Use the key to get that open. I think it's an awesome looking bike. This is the first edition of the Transcon. Yeah, it's cool. Alright, well, thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the R18, there are no links in the description to click, but you can check out our other motorcycle videos. And if we get more time on this bike back at DMHQ, we'll do some more videos. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.